Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexa Giovanna Zaragoza Alcántar. I am a student of the University of Guadalajara in Mexico and currently of the University of East Anglia in the United Kingdom. This study is titled Optimizing Class Management in English Language Teaching, an action research study on the structure pricing framework SPF in PAL classes. This project helped us to discover the persistent challenge of time management in the Programa Abierto de Lenguas, PAL, a program that helps students of the Licenciatura en Docencia del Inglés como Lengua Extranjera, better called LIDILE, at the University of Guadalajara. We, as teachers, cannot lead students to a deep understanding of a topic in just one session. We need better practices and productions after a presentation of a team. This framework was designed and tested through three action research cycles to help teachers deliver 1 hour English lessons more efficiently while maintaining engagement and complete lesson stages. To start, effective pacing is the central to the language teaching, especially in 50-minute PAL lessons. Student teachers often face lessons overruns or must rush critical phases, warm up, presentation, practice, and production, reducing instructional quality and learners' outcomes. The study responds to this need for structured, flexible time management. And it is not just adding time to a session, it goes beyond. We need to figure out how that time is distributed according to our students' needs. And how says here, the structured pacing framework is a time management strategy designed to help language teachers allocate time effectively across lesson stages without exceeding the class period. SPF provides a structured timing approach, prioritization techniques, and real time pacing tools to ensure the balanced instruction. Now, for the theoretical background, we have that by supporting intentional transitions and balanced delivery, it aims to enhance both pedagogical efficiency and learner centered practice, consistent with Sweller's emphasis on managing cognitive load. Also, it includes Person and Gallagher gradual release responsibility model, which helps students to act independently of the teacher after a guided practice. Lastly, we have a research on self-regulated learning by Alam and Aaron, and the explicit time management training by Abdul Kader and Ace. Together, they underscore the pedagogical value of planned time-bound instructions. The pursued four objectives are identify current patterns of time allocation, examine causes of ineffective pacing, assess impacts of poor time management on learning and participation, evaluate the SPF as an intervention, and some of the guiding questions address these patterns, cause, impacts, and the framework's potential for optimization. In this slide, the definition and components of this framework. The SPF divides lesson into warm-up, presentation, guided practice, independent practice, and closure. Key components include timers and cues, buffer periods for flexibility content, prioritization, and reflection logs. These elements provide both structure and adaptability. As a precise time distribution, the framework is formed by one class in 2 days, with the following division: 15 minutes for warm up and activation, 30 minutes for a presentation, and 5 minutes for a wrap up and feedback for the first day, while the second day is the guided practice in 30 minutes, the independence practice in 15 minutes, and lastly, a wrap up and feedback in 5 minutes. For the methodology, we employed qualitative action research using Chemis and Maktar's plan, act, observe, reflect cycle. Three 6-week cycles involve four student teachers delivering PAL classes, allowing iterative refinement of the SPF. And our time awareness tools were visible timers, cue based transitions, and teacher self monitoring. For example, the digital countdowns, mobile apps, the color coded slides, the sound alerts, also schedule checkpoints and checking our clocks or our watches. For the participants, we have the teacher researcher, that it was the instructor implementing time management strategies and tracking their impact. The students, that it was a group of 12 EFL learners from PAL participating in the interventions, and the peer observers, that were the colleagues and other PAL team providing external feedback on classroom pacing and engagement. The following slide contains the instruments. For data collection, we used multiple tools for triangulation: observation sheets to capture real time pacing, teacher journals for reflective analysis, lesson plan comparisons of intended various actual timing, and some notes on student engagement levels and transition efficiency. Now we go with the prioritization techniques, that we have three. First is the essential versus supplementary content. We always have to focus on the core learning objectives first. The second one is the buffer time, the 5 minutes rule. We always allocate 5 minutes for flexibility in case that something happens in the classroom. And the last one, that is the adaptive pacing. If an activity runs long, we can adjust next segments without skipping the key stages. That goes along with the buffer time. That's why we allow 5 minutes to let these kind of things. Now, the way that we interact with tasks and how we manage them. We have first the task sequencing, because we arrange tasks from simple to complex to avoid the cognitive overload. Now, the quick transitions. We use preset instructions and templates for seamless shifts between activities. Talking, ab- Talking about the results, their analysis revealed four major outcomes. The number one, increased teacher control. Number two, better use of class time. Number three, highlighted student engagement. And the number four, improved task completion. Each successive cycle showed stronger pacing and greater responsiveness to the students' needs. As we can see, in the cycle one was controlled but rigid, because was strictly managed using the preset time blocks. In the cycle two, it was flexible but inconsistent, because the introduction of the buffer time allowed teachers to respond more organically, but the students' needs were a little bit avoided. While in the cycle number three, it was structured and adapted. The hybrid model combined structure with it built. Lastly, the cycle number three was the best one, because it was structured and adapted because of this hybrid model. Based on these findings, we recommend integrating SPF training into teacher education curricula, using pacing logs for reflective assessment, providing SPF based lessons planning templates, and establishing peer coaching cycles focused on pacing. In conclusion, the structure pacing framework equips pre-service the structure pacing framework equips pre-service teachers to manage time effectively. To conclude, the SPF framework equips pre-service teachers to manage the time effectively, maintaining lesson flow and respond to learners dynamically. Its reflective components also cultivate critical professional skills. While adaptation to varied contexts remains a challenge, the SPF offers a practical, theory informed model for time restricted language classrooms. This research, this research is thought to be used inside and outside the Lidile background, because it allows teachers to mold their own time following these principles. Thank you very much. This is all for my part. Thank you for your attention, and these are my references.